Hey everybody, welcome to AJS News, video 2 of 2 for today.
And our sponsor for this day is Extra. We have a special Valentine's Day deal. Check it out. Alex, tell them, what are you going to get right now?
It's $62. You get our wallet, the aluminum wallet, and it comes with 2 different faces. So you got the bright red, and then you've got the black face, so you can just switch them out just however
Always
you want.
get compliments. It's the best. It is the coolest gadget I own. I know there's some choices out there, some competitors. We have the best price and the best product. And we worked with them on our own custom ideas. It's so cool that they're like, hey, check this out. Let's work together, create some cool stuff. So links are down below for a Valentine's Day deal. Want to gift something for your significant other, your friends, your family, anybody.
Just treat yourself, maybe.
Yeah. All right. So what else has been going on in game? Oh, by the way, top 10 lists are out. Check them out. The latest one, top 10 worst games. I know it's super long. It's an hour and 30 minutes. I shouldn't have released it at 2 a.m. It fucked up the engagement. And nobody saw it. Oh, fuck, I gotta go to sleep. So wake up and go watch it. And I won't release it that late again to screw y'all over. So yeah, that's out. And a few lists left, just some movies, top 20, top 30 worst movies. So hopefully you guys will enjoy those. It'll come out this week. And then we are just focusing on the games that are out right now and that are coming. Wonderful. Suicide Squad and Skull and Bones is probably what we're going to be focusing on. So thank you for your support. Go watch the top 10 worst games, because some of these games we're playing right now might show up on the next one.
Well, you said the words.
I said the words.
And so let's talk about
Who did I summon?
Skull and Bones.
I summoned
It's
Skull
gonna
and
be
Bones.
our savior.
So the former Skull and Bones director, the one who left last year after realizing that, oh my God, this is a sinking ship, said that making a separate solo campaign would have prevented the team from creating a really deep open world. And so if you didn't know, the solo...
Wait. It would prevent the team from creating a really deep and open world?
Yes.
Why?
Oh, because there's no one talented working on the game.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Uh,
They only worked
That's not
on
what
it
he
for
said.
8-9 years. I don't know how long they worked for it and dumped and restarted countless times and dumped resources into it. No.
Single player games are dead. And that's what EA told me.
I don't understand. You had the fucking template there. All you had to do really was take the Black Flag assets. I mean, I'd have even been okay with that. If it will lead to us being able to get off our ship and go and explore, then put the fucking levels from Black Flag into the fucking thing.
Yeah.
There's Speed Tree. There's all these other things that can help create some of that. Obviously, you got to do more development to create little pirate havens
You
and
lost me at
areas
work.
that you can
Yeah.
attack.
But that takes time. Oh, wait, they had lots of time and money, which they spent all the money.
I don't even necessarily think that it needed to be both. It didn't need to be this massive single-player world and the multiplayer side. That, to me, probably would have required double the resources that they probably gave the project initially. Yes, the project blew up. The project scope expanded. The money started, bloating. The
Where
budget
did it
probably
go,
bloated.
Joe?
But that
Where
was
did it
because
go?
of mismanagement, right? So they're just saying that wasn't the scope of the original project. But I do think that they should have added at least swashbuckling. How can you have a fucking pirate game and not swashbuckle? When I'm by that, if you don't know, just, boarding other ships, fucking getting out your fucking sword and say, aha, how about you? On guard, Joe.
Can't afford that.
Oh,
Put that back.
put that back.
So in 2017,
Shit costs money.
Skull and Bones was originally revealed as a multiplayer exclusive affair, but by E3 2018, Ubisoft had announced 3 modes. The 5v5 multiplayer mode, called Loot Hunt, which was a cooperative shared world mode. And then there was the open world, and then there was a single-player campaign. So there's 3 parts. And then they canceled...
So they did
at
one point.
Then they canceled the single-player, and they canceled the 5v5 mode to focus
Because they
on the open
realized,
world.
oh shit, yeah, our resources are split between 3 different, and we can't make it as good as we think we want. But it was also probably bloat, mismanagement, talent, yeah.
Yeah, and they go on to say that it's like, look, we think it's going to be more interesting for players to explore the world this way. I don't think so, but that's what they decided to do, and they're making the game and not me, which is I don't know. And they really wanted to give the opportunity to the player to write their own story because they didn't want to write it for you. Probably because it's Ubisoft and they don't have anyone.
It's too
there.
expensive.
Yeah.
Say it, dude.
She costs money.
Yeah.
It costs money.
You write your own story because it's
too
cheaper.
expensive for us to write ours.
It's cheaper to do that way. So if you're wondering why you didn't get any of the modes they promised you in 2018, it's because they canceled them because they didn't want to do them.
Oh my
Well,
god!
I'm still looking forward to this.
Oh my
Are you?
god!
It's gonna be a great mess.
All this talk
open beta
of fucking
for
Skull
free.
and Bones has reminded me of the greatest video game that nobody will ever get to play. One of the greatest video games nobody will get to play. It's called Armada, Seas of the Damned, something like that.
Oh, I
Pirates
thought
of the
you-
Caribbean, Armada of the Damned. That's what it
I thought you
was.
were gonna talk about like Prey 2 or something like that.
That's another one. That would go. Maybe I should do a top 10 list. Another one is Babylon 5. Babylon 5 Wars from Sierra. Flight Simulator never came out. There's a lot of games that we won't get to play that looked fucking awesome and
Crucible.
amazing. Pirates of the Caribbean,
Hyenas.
Armada of the Damned was this open world that you can go and
No.
create your own ship and do ship battles and stuff. And so it was basically the single player portion of what Skull and Bones could have been, but Skull and Bones says, "Nah, we can't do that. We're not good at it. It's cost too much." So instead, we will drive our ships in circles around each other for a few hours, and then go and visit a port or two to modify percentages, to then go back out into the world and do circles around each other without engaging in hand-to-hand combat or taking your little man Muneko and fighting each other.
Well, they did say to forget everything you know about pirates.
So
They did. That was in the marketing.
That was their marketing. Forget
That's-
everything you know about pirates. It's
That's
like,
genius.
It's like, oh,
I love it.
They swashbuckle? No. I said forget that.
Forget
It's
it.
like, what about the fun part where they like?
I'm
they
looking forward to
swat-
it.
Anything else? You get off your ship? No. Forget it.
So that the marketing goes, forget everything you know about pirates, and then we're all like,
That they're fun.
and then
that's it.
that's it.
No. That's the only way you're gonna
Just
enjoy this
forget-
game is if you forget
just
everything that you know
forget.
about pirates.
That's it.
Yeah. All right. Well, Resident Evil 4 Remake sold over 6 million copies, which is a really great thing for Capcom since
Remakes.
this is what they do. I mean, they may come up with they have a couple big franchises,
Yeah.
but remaking Resident Evil is making them tons of money. And
Yeah.
this week, a gold edition is going to be coming out that will include both the Separate Ways DLC and the Deluxe Extra DLC.
6 million is massive, massive. Anytime you hit fucking 3, 2, 1, anything. I mean,
Yeah.
But obviously, 6 is a nice, good
Well,
number.
as
for
long
them.
as you're not Square Enix, because if they had sold
Oh.
6 million, it would have been very disappointing.
Very
Because
disappointing.
Square Enix is disappointing.
They only sold 5 million. This is the worst game ever.
And so, so February 9th is when this is coming out. It's a bundle that will come with the Separate Ways, story DLC, and then the pack that comes with cosmetics, costumes, music, and weapons that originally came with a deluxe edition. So, I don't know. Like, this is something that I worry about. I think it's great that Capcom's making a bunch of money. I like Capcom, but there's only so much milk left in that cow. And I was
Yeah, there's
personally
like, maybe 2 or 3 remakes left that they can do.
Yeah.
It's time to maybe move the story forward.
And then I was
Hopefully they're still
personally
working.
disappointed with Village, and so it's
Yeah.
like I don't necessarily like the direction that the new games are going in. So what the fuck are we gonna do? So I'm just kind of waiting. The next couple of years.
I liked Village.
Yeah, I liked parts of Village. I think 40% of that game was good, and then the rest was not for me. So
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, it's definitely flawed.
yeah. So I'm just curious to see what they do. And every time I see this, it's like, oh, cool, they're making tons of money on these remakes. But what's next? Like, you got to let me know what's on the horizon. Like, what's happening?
Remake the remakes.
Yeah.
Remastered.
Well, I mean, of course, people keep talking about Code Veronica.
They're already doing it, Joe, with The Last of Us 2.
Oh, do you,
Re-re.
there's going to be a Village remaster, you think?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, let's start. We mentioned you kind of jumped ahead last video. We're talking a little bit about the day before. The day before was actually a bigger problem during development than anyone kind of knew until this week. A group on YouTube kind of did a little deep dive and expose on how this game was made. And so a group called Game 2 and GameStar, they made a video and they spoke to 16 former employees and then one of its former, and they quoted volunteers and 7 staff from the day before publisher Mytona. And then this is really horrible stuff. The game's development was constantly being changed. Like the two brothers in charge, they play a game and be like, "Holy shit, Spider-Man's like cool and bright. Make our game bright." And they're like, "But this is a fucking dark zombie game." And so they try to change something out. Then they play a new game and they're like, "I guess this is an MMO now because the advertisements showed it that it's an MMO." And the game's character creator had to be overhauled multiple times because of GTA Online and then Hogwarts Legacy and then Baldur's Gate 3. And they're constantly changing things based on whatever these guys had played. And the most horrible thing is it said that there was a great deal of young, inexperienced labor drawn from, like the Eastern Bloc, Kazakhstan, Armenia, and other places where these people weren't necessarily paid, and they're like, hey, we're going to give you all the experience that you
these
need.
guys are scummy as fuck.
Yeah, and then when they would be forced to work a bunch of overtime, and then, of course, they hold this carrot out that's not ever within their grasp, and then there was this huge stick. And then the stick actually was them fining their employees. So several of the people who had been employees were made to pay fines to the company for turning in substandard work. And so
not only are we not going to pay you, we're going to fine your ass if you put in work that is not good.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then, of course, it comes with all the threats of like, hey, if you fuck this game up for us, this is the most wishlisted game on Steam. I'll ruin your whole career before it gets off the ground. And so there's a lot of like really horrible things.
So you're saying it's not the hate bloggers?
The bloggers will ruin the game.
Unfortunately, in other countries, not every country. I mean, as bad as it is here to be a game developer in the United States, getting treated like shit, not getting vacation and all these other things, basically being a temporary employee forever without the benefits that full-times get, it is worse in some other countries because it seems like these people were taking advantage of people, and there probably wasn't a lot of regulations or laws in effect to help prevent this kind of stuff, or just people just got sucked in by promises and lies.
I mean, when you're like, if you're a new game developer and you are working on a game that is the most wishlisted game on Steam, that is a major light at the end of the tunnel. It's like, I just have to push forward. This game's going to be huge. My name's going to be all over it. And then I can go to a different company. And that just didn't happen for any of these people because it was practically, it wasn't quite vaporware, but it was as close as you can get.
As close as you can get. As closest to the 0 out of 10 that the Angry Joe Show can issue. Because it's literally non-functional at release. Right now, you cannot play it. Wow, that's wild.
We got some new Apple news. They got regulated in the EU, and so Apple, of course, is going to change their platform and make it so that they're making sure all of these laws, so they don't get fined a bunch of money. And so they're going to change the way that third-party apps are allowed on their platform in the EU. They're going to introduce a 17% commission fee on all transactions for companies that use it, as well as something called a core technology fee, which is a 50 cent or half of a euro for each install per year after the first million. So if you're a major brand like Spotify was mentioned and a bunch of other ones that install, after your first million, you're just having to pay 50 cents per, which is massive. And so all of these major tech giants, including Microsoft, of course, Spotify, and others, are hammering Apple, saying, what the hell are you doing? You got regulated because you're doing scummy shit, and you did something that's even more scummy than you were doing before. And so because the regulation is so slow, they're just going to get around it. And this is the world that we live in when you are a $1 trillion company, and they're all doing it. So it's not just.
So help summarize it for us. Did you understand?
Yeah.
Basically, Apple been fucking up, doing some shady ass shit. Regulations coming down, other companies noticing it. Okay, change your shady ass shit. Okay, big court battle, a lot of money fighting back and forth. Okay, fine, you're forcing us to do a certain thing. We'll do it. Simultaneously, they change another policy aspect on a different thing on the back end. Now you charge per download to 50 cents to recoup their money from whatever they were fucking doing in the first place.
Yeah.
And now all the companies are like, bro, what the fuck? We just do. Why are you doing? And then they're like, all right, we'll sue us. And then we'll go through the whole cycle again. And then the whole cycle will happen. And then we'll fight them more. And then they'll have to change that. But then they'll go in here and change something else.
Yeah. So they're making they were forced to change, and they made a change that's going to make them even more money, and everyone. So this Spotify founder Daniel Ek said this is a new low even for them, a masterclass in distortion. Sadly, this is a classic move of an old dominant company that believes the rules don't apply to them. Instead of adapting and innovating, they're twisting the situation, making it seem like the regulators are at fault, or even worse, pretending this has to do with security when it's clearly a plot to drive their own profits. Look, they're a $1 trillion company. They want to maintain being a $1 trillion company because they're making the same old shit, but they're covering in titanium, and they're, that only goes so far. They had issues selling their watches. And then I guess people are buying those $3,500 goggle things. But they need to increase these sales, and the iOS store is how they make a lot of it because they're making 30% on everything. So now they're only going to make 17% on everything.
So now, when you download it, you pay us 50 cents.
And so this is not them automatically losing 13% either, like some people are claiming. This is only if the consumer decides to use that third-party payment program, because a lot of the apps are just going to continue to use the App Store. So it's like, don't shed any tears for Apple. They're still going to make a bunch of money, probably even more money. And with this extra 50 cents per download after the first million, that's massive. If you just think about how many people in the world have, I don't know, X, Twitter, Instagram, or whatever, WhatsApp, other stuff. And so it's a lot. It's an absolute fuckload. So
cool. Apple continuing to be dicks. This is why I don't buy their shit.
There were rumors this week that from the Chinese press that Tencent was potentially interested in buying Dungeons and Dragons. So Hasbro is like the depths of a porta potty. Like they run their company terribly, right?
Yeah.
They're
But
fucking
would
dumb.
Tencent run it any better? I don't know if I have the confidence in that.
So everyone hates Hasbro. They've been doing horrible shit as far as the open gaming license, fucking up with AI art and low quality.
They
everything.
did say they were sorry, Alex.
We're sorry. We got caught.
Very sorry. And so, according to this this press release, they said that potentially Hasbro was looking to sell it. Didn't make any sense. A lot of people were like, "This kind of smells like bullshit," because the only couple divisions that Hasbro has is D&D.
Yeah,
and so
it does sound like bullshit to me.
And so what ended up what is more likely is that Tencent is more interested in working more on D&D. Tencent made a massive amount of money in Baldur's Gate 3, and they want to continue to make a whole bunch of money on Baldur's Gate on D&D and other products.
They're like, this man is money. What's it based on? Dungeons and Dragons? Huh. Can we buy that? Can we get in? Can we find a way to get into that? And then somebody heard those rumors, and then that went down the grapevine, and then somebody writes an article. Tencent buying, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's how it happened.
Tencent owns 30% of Larian, who made Baldur's Gate 3, so they really like Dungeons and Dragons because they made a whole ton of money. And so I imagine they're going to make a bunch more licensed things because Tencent is kind of slowed down a little bit. Every time the Chinese government decides to do anything with video games, they lose, like $80 billion or something.
No, that guy got sacked, and that's not happening.
Yeah,
so it's Wild West again.
Yeah, but the stock price still took that massive hit. It's creeping back up towards it's where it was, but it's still not there. So
it'll get there.
They need something because they're not making the money that they once were, and there's more competition in the market. So if you're worried about Wizards getting sold to China, not looking like it's happening.
Yeah.
Death Stranding 2 was announced.
Okay, yeah, we didn't see that. Maybe we should watch these videos because there was a PlayStation event that we missed. I think Joe was on vacation, and then there was the Avowed. And we missed that.
The first one was the
that
Xbox
was the Xbox one.
Yeah.
So there's two. So we might want to do that.
Yeah. The Xbox one.
You saw the
I saw
Xbox one on stream.
Yeah, and that one was fine. The PlayStation one had no information about Elden Ring DLC, so automatic 0 out of 10.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about Death Stranding in any way, so I don't care.
I don't know. Look, all I saw was like a guy with a guitar. Did you see that?
Yeah.
We might need to watch it. Okay. Yeah. Anyways.
So some people are excited about it. I'm not interested at all.
Really excited about it.
I would have enjoyed a different franchise first, and then if you want to do Death Stranding later, but he's doing and I think he kind of knows that because after he said, Death Stranding 2 coming, but I'm also working on.
Yeah. He's going to start eventually working on a game that he's calling an espionage game, next generational tactical espionage game.
Ooh.
Though full development for this title
Alpha Protocol?
Will not
or it's
begin.
Probably more action game, not RPG. Damn. All right.
So, but he's
probably more Splinter Cell or Siphon Filter kind of thing.
You don't think it's going to be more of like a Metal Gear clone-ish type? Like his own?
Oh, I don't want him to do that. Clone his
Metal
own
Gear
shit.
Survive.
Nah.
Fuck yeah.
So, but development for that game is not even going to be... Full development for the game will not begin until after Death Stranding 2 is launched. So, like, that game, as much as he was trying to, get people excited about, not going to get started for a little while. There was also a shadow drop of Silent Hill, the short message, which is wild reviews. Like, some things are... It's only a couple hours. It's a short-form first-person entry. It's free, and I've seen scores as low as 2 and as high as like people talking about like it's an 11 out of 10, and so it's like I don't know,
Nice.
but
Okay.
so that
Down
was
check it
revealed.
out. I love horror games.
And then there was PS5 ports for Dave the Diver, which was great, arriving in April, and then it's going to include a Godzilla themed DLC in May. And then V Rising and Zenless Zone Zero will be coming. And then there was a PSVR 2, Legendary Tales and Metro Awakening, which is a spin-off of the first-person shooter, is coming to PSVR 2, so if you'll actually have something to use that.
I don't think it's here.
Yeah, like, I took it to my girlfriend's house.
Microsoft also is reportedly bringing Indiana Jones and Starfield to PS5 and Switch. So a report
Her
suggests
family can play with it.
they can climb.
Her family can play with it. No, I'm just the PSVR 2. It was been sitting in the background forever. Nobody's using it here.
No.
So I was giving it to somebody.
So now we can bore the PS5 people too now, right?
Yeah. So if Starfield comes to PS5,
Here, have at the
I don't know why you would play it.
Starfield.
Let's give it a.
Yeah. So Bethesda's Indiana
Maybe Patrick's
Jones.
playing it. He's like, give it to Patrick.
Oh, for
Our PSVR 2. I'm trying to find a buyer for it.
something will come eventually that you'll be interested. Maybe no.
Not for a
Probably not.
while.
Yeah, for a little bit. But Bethesda's getting desperate. So Indiana
what is
Jones and
that?
the Great Circle is among the games being considered to be going over to PlayStation. And Starfield has been hinted at as well, but that would follow the Shattered Space expansion that could be coming. Again, like OJ said, I
don't care.
if you want to be bored on 2 consoles, you can get it, but I don't.
Indiana Jones on PS4 or PS5. Oh, shocking. Why is it? Because
Following
Xbox
up the badass
bought
movie, though.
Bethesda, and you're thinking that no games would be cross-platform. But just a few years ago, we were like, we hope games remain cross-platform. So good.
The Dial of
Not that
Destiny
interesting
just
of a
came
story.
out.
Let me know if they put Halo on the PS5. That's when you know shit is desperate.
The Dial of Destiny just came out, so that thing is pretty hot. So people will want to play.
Dial of Destiny is pretty hot, Joe.
Did you watch it? You haven't watched it. You have no. You never watch it. That bastard.
We'll wait for our top 10, our top 30 worst movies list because a certain hot movie, according to Joe, is on that list.
That's why everyone wants to play the game now,
Yeah.
especially on PS5.
Yeah.
No, listen to the context. Alex is saying that, look, they need money. I need money. Hey, PlayStation people, y'all want to play indie? Y'all want to play that legendary Starfield? Y'all heard about that? Y'all so jealous you can't play Starfield, but we'll let you play. Can you give me money? Can you give me $70 for Starfield after it's been out for 2 years? Can you give? That's what that story's about. But yeah, but let me know if Microsoft goes, hey, PlayStation, y'all want to put on Halo Infinite? That would be huge news.
Yeah, that game's dead. That game is done. All right. Major Twitch news. Pokimane is done streaming on Twitch now.
No!
Because of her cookies?
That's the last thing we covered. So Joe's like, oh, man, people got so mad at her that it's her
They
cookies.
ran her off fucking Twitch because cookies?
Ran
What's
her
wrong
off.
with you people?
She charged too much for her cookies, Joe.
Yeah. So She said that she feels that Twitch has regressed politically in the last 2 years and doesn't want to be tied to any one platform. She also mentioned, some of the toxicity of the it's probably specifically her channel, which just seems to be, a lightning rod for, I think she specifically said like red pill nonsense. But I mean, when you look at it, it's probably because her exclusivity contract actually
All
expired.
that red pill nonsense pays her bills.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd probably deal with those wackos and weirdos if they were, doesn't she make like $10 million a year and some bullshit?
She had a major
She's like upper echelon fucking royalty among streamers and shit. So I mean, I'll deal with MAGA red hats all day long if that's how much it's gonna make me.
Yeah.
Which is what people are doing these days. This is the days of fucking engagement farming, especially on the Elon Musk's run fucking X. It's garbage. That site has turned into pure bullshit. It's like all these things like focus closely on her arm as she passes, and there's nothing going on with the arm, or type in this into the GIFs and be shocked, and then you type it in and nothing is there. It's engagement farming so that you do
Say something controversial.
because
Bigfoot's real.
Oh, God damn it. It's controversial, not stupid.
It's free on.
and then it'll
both
get
of these-
4 million impressions.
Both of these guys think that there's such thing as too much chocolate.
There is.
There is too much.
Nope.
It's too much. You die death by chocolate.
Too much
But
chocolate ice
if it
cream.
gets 4 million impressions, then Elon will pay you $50. So that's what everybody's doing. They're fucking farming that shit. And so, but what I'm saying is like that's probably makes her channel a lot of money, and she doesn't realize that a lot of her audience is hate watchers or thirsty motherfuckers that want to get with her. So I was thinking, I heard this, and I saw like a tweet like, oh, she's gonna get like $45 million from Kick or something. That was all rumors. I was like, $45 million? That seems like ridiculously too much money.
Well, when you got gambling, when you're trying to get kids addicted to gambling, there's no
And they're like, how could she do that when she shitted on Kick for gambling? No, she's not going to Kick. I think she's going to YouTube is what it is.
Yeah, so her exclusivity contract expired. They did present her a new one, and she said it's not as lucrative as the deals were being offered years ago. I don't know.
Oh, okay. So they probably offered her like $7 million, and she was like, nah, that doesn't look as good as the $15 million that people were getting last.
There's a massive global advertising downturn that's been going on for the last couple of years. Of course, your contract isn't as big as it was a couple of years ago because that's the way the world. Like, if you looked outside lately, there's a lot of industries that are absolutely on fire, including the gaming one, which is what she used to be centered in. And so she said she's going to be free as a bird, and she doesn't want to re-sign exclusivity with any streaming platform. I imagine that'll change once enough zeros get presented on a check from
For sure.
For someone on
For
there.
sure. It just blows me away because I'm sure her revenue is insane, and anybody would die to have that on Twitch. And she's saying bye, and then I guess she's going to take it to YouTube. Nobody does that at that level with business managers, because it's not just her running her channel, I guarantee you, without already knowing that, okay, if we go to YouTube, we'll have a minimum of this. We'll be making at least as much on Twitch, or maybe we take a $5,000 hit every month or whatever. But since they're making probably $40,000, $100,000 a month, they don't really give a fuck.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man.
It's a lot more
The
than
fact
that.
that she makes it's all about politics and about the toxicity on Twitch. There's definitely toxicity on Twitch.
A little bit.
Thankfully, our fucking audience is not big enough because we have nothing but cool ass people that hang out with us. But I guess when you get to
That's
20,
debatable.
who are you gonna call out, Joe? Who?
Everyone.
You hate them?
Yes.
You hate them all?
They're mean.
Say
They're
something.
mean to you?
I need you to say controversial things so that our engagement goes up. So
That's
I need
right.
you to-
But I guess when your chat is 20,000
White
people,
chocolate
you
is
do
chocolate.
see dick pictures and all
gross.
sorts of bullshit. Yeah. I don't know. I just assumed that she got a contract with YouTube and she's not talking about it.
There's also going to be a negotiating thing where she's like, I'm officially leaving, and then there'll be some sort of blowback.
Some
and then
people
Twitch
presenting
will-
her with some other
Yeah.
offers.
Or third option, she has made so much money at this point. She's like in that upper echelon with the amaranth and stuff. She just doesn't care.
Yeah.
I'll just do whatever I want. That's probably what it is. All right.
All right, what else you got?
Oh, I got, did you know there's an extended video? Y'all should probably look at it on Misadventures one time. Vampire the Masquerade
The game's
Bloodlines
dead
2.
to me. It is dead
apparently
to me.
just released a 33-minute gameplay deep dive video.
Oh my
So that's
God.
why, because I was like, man, this thing doesn't feel like it's coming out this year. Well, apparently they've been releasing stuff that we haven't been paying attention to. So they say the gameplay and action of Bloodlines 2 is a sort of dance, says Skidmore, as players explore the world.
Skidmark?
Skidmore.
Oh.
As players explore the world, soak in the atmosphere, and make strategic choices, they affect their relationships with the characters around them. Players can choose their legend, but the world is dynamic, and the characters will remember how you treat them.
So it's a game?
Yeah, so it's apparently coming. Doesn't have a release date yet, but it's expected to appear later this year, and that's why they're starting to release these longer gameplay videos, saying, "Hey, don't think we're vaporware." Because honestly, I started to think they were vaporware because it's like
vaporware
development would restart over and over. So yeah, so there's that, and then Last of Us co-creator and director teases us with a potential third entry. Neil Druckmann, everybody's favorite Neil Druckmann. Neil Druckmann. For years, I haven't been able to find that concept, the third game he's talking about. But recently, that has changed.
Joel survived.
HBO put a lot of money in my pocket, and so now I need to figure out how to do part 3.
Well, he got made. He's running Naughty Dog. He has to
Yeah.
start. Like, we need to start working on something. I'm running this company, and
The remasters aren't going to
the remasters aren't selling, and they're paring down their multiplayer stuff. So it's like it makes sense.
I think this is a story of a man that the shit has gone off the rails. He had lightning in the bottle with the first one, and then trying to continue the story and trying to subvert expectations and trying to shock people has ruined it. And I can't wait. Personally, I cannot wait for part 3. Ellie's peanut allergy and all the ideas that we thought we were going to come up with in the next one. He says the first game had such a clean concept of like the conditional love a parent feels for the child, says Druckmann. Yeah, that's the one. That's why the first one worked. And then you went and basically somewhat betrayed that in the second one. The second one, we landed on this idea of pursuit of justice at any cost, justice for the ones you love. We felt like there's a clean concept here, and there's a through line from the first game about love. But by the end of the game, you don't feel that, by the way, in part 2. Anyways, if we ever get to do it again, if we never get to do it again, this is a fine ending point. The last bite of the apple. The story is done. We don't have to do it. But I've just been thinking about it. Is there a concept there? And for years, I haven't been able to find the concept. But just recently, that's changed. I don't have a story, but I do have the concept that, to me, is exciting. It's as exciting as the first one and the second one. It's its own thing, yet it has this through line for all 3. So it does feel like there is a possibility of one more chapter to the story. So it's kind of teasing us of a part 3, but as me, Alex, and Joe told you, there was always going to be a part 3.
Money.
I
mean,
even if he thought there wasn't going to be a part 3, there's going to be a part 3.
Yeah, I mean, there's people that work at that company. They're like, hey, we need a big project to work on because we hired all these people, and unless you're going to fire all of us, what's coming next? Because this multiplayer thing's not working. So.
Yeah, I can't. I can't wait to see which character gets shit on and what themes are betrayed and who gets fucked and by who and when and who gets shot in the head and never spoken about again.
Well, yeah,
because that's basically.
Low-level emotional manipulation. I mean, that's what the game was. They're like, hey, I need you to like this new character. It's like, how? I'm gonna make you hate your old characters. Oh, okay. So, new character? Pets the dog. Old character? Shoots a dog. Oh. Okay. Thanks, Neil.
It's the best way to do it, Alex.
You're a master craftsman.
Best way to do it.
Yeah. Do you have another one?
A group of modders have spent 10 years honing a remake of StarCraft 1 and Brood War in StarCraft 2, complete with remastered cutscenes and custom unit models. So that is called StarCraft Mass Recall 7.0. It's interesting. How do they do this without getting sued by Activision?
Well, Activision owns it. So because of the new user agreement that you signed, when all the new games came out, and they realized in StarCraft 1 and Warcraft 3, when people were using these custom game modes and starting their entire companies Dota, Heroes of the New Earth, League of Legends were just created there. They're like, wait a minute, we should own it. It's like, why? That guy created it.
Why?
He's like, well, because I want to own it. And so the new agreements say when you make a game, we own it. And so congratulations, you spent 10 years making something that
Free labor.
I imagine Blizzard's going to look at and go, holy shit, you guys are so much more talented and motivated than our staff. And you
Thank you.
And you did it for free? Oh, man, you're the GOAT.
Yep. All right. Well, that's all we got for you. Thank y'all so much for watching. Thank you to our sponsor, Extra, which we got a Valentine's Day deal coming up. Don't forget, go check it out. Just click the link below. See if there might be a product there buried that you don't know about and you want to get. All right. Well, thank y'all so much for watching, and we will see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, everybody.